In the beginning, man created the wallet. The wallet was empty and without money.
I am the creator of the complete coin design. A big search preceded the coin design. I wanted to show the people that there are nice little valuable things in our country, like plants, protected birds. There were many ideas, but I always choose the first one.
Then man created the cent.
First, I made the 1-cent coin.
He saw that it was not good for it to be alone. So he made a suitable companion to help it. The man saw that everything he made was good.
I felt that I did a good job, so I completed the job well. I made the coins to meet the expectations of the people.
The man named the little coin the penny, and the biggest one the silver dollar. And the man said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill all the wallets." One day, someone said to the penny, "You are little." Then he said to the nickel, "You aren't worth much." And the voice tempted them to eat from the fruit of inflation. They gave in to the temptation, and they felt worthless. They were thrown to the outer stock exchange. Then the quarter felt completely trapped in its life. It had enough of vending machines, parking meters, and shopping cart slides. One day, the quarter lost all hope when someone gave it to an old lady who was selling squash at the market. The old lady counted it many times. The quarter decided to end its life, this meaningless captivity. It was waiting for the right moment when the lady, after counting them again, put it on top of the counter with some boastful pennies. It decided to throw itself into the abyss. It felt a joy and freedom while it was falling and was tinkling and dancing on the floor. It turned faster and faster when the sweet moment of death came. It lay crippled and silent in a dark, dusty corner. Or what woman, having 10 silver coins, if she loses one coin, does not light a lamp, sweep the house, and search carefully until she finds it? And when she has found it, she calls her friends and neighbors together, saying, "Rejoice with me, for I have found the piece which I lost." Likewise, I say to you, there is joy in the presence of angels over one sinner who repents.
My mother couldn't love me. She didn't have the love of a mother in her heart. So I never knew what it meant to be loved by my mother. I had many struggles in my life, in my marriage, and later on when I divorced. There was only bitterness left in my heart. I longed for something different, something better. I'd always been a very energetic person. I could do anything. I even had the strength to build a house. I did all the work men usually do. I wanted to be the mother and the father of my child. But then I became disabled. I could hardly bear it. My hands were paralyzed, and I couldn't use my legs. If my daughter hadn't put water and a piece of bread in front of me, I would have starved. I came to the point where I believed it would be best for everyone, myself, the whole world, but especially for my family, if I ended my life as a gift for my daughter's high school graduation. I planned the day when I would commit suicide. I had to die. I knew I'd become a burden to my children.
A kislány, ahova járt gimnáziumba, oda bejárt egy kis csoport.
There was a group of people in my daughter's high school who talked to her about God. Christians had a bad reputation at that time. I'd read in newspapers and heard on the radio that a lot of people who said they were Christians just took money from people. They extorted money and stole from them. But I was also afraid to let her go to the disco. That had a bad reputation too. I wasn't sure if she would come back safely or even if she would come home at all. So I decided to let her meet with the Christians. Not long after that, they came to talk to me too. They asked me to go and take a look and see what they did, and they talked a lot about it. They said I should know where my daughter went. While we talked, they looked at me like I was a real human being, not a monster with 7 heads. They helped me when I needed some help, but they also let me do things that I was able to do. One day they took me to an evangelistic meeting. I didn't know at the time that this is what it's called. There were many people in a big room. There was someone standing at the front talking. It stirred me up. I felt he was talking about me. I didn't understand why other people didn't turn around and just look at me. Didn't they know he was talking about me? To be honest, I was very angry. I was so angry at my daughter as well. I was sure she told all these things about me to these people. She told them all my secrets. Otherwise, how else would that man know everything about me? I was ashamed. A month later, the team showed up again, and they took me to another event. Everyone was happy to see me, and they hugged me. They were happy as a child getting a Christmas present. I never, ever experienced this kind of love and acceptance before. And then I listened to the preacher as he was talking to me, and not about me. And I heard someone very clearly behind me saying, "You can confess to me." I turned around to see who was talking to me. Who said I have to confess? What did I have to confess? I was sure about 2 things, though. One was that I had such a huge joy inside of me that I was afraid I'd just blow up, and the joy was so big I couldn't bear it. The second thing was that I knew I was different. My outlook had changed. All of a sudden I knew I didn't want to die anymore. I didn't know who Jesus was, but he was talking to me, and I knew that he existed. It took a lot of time. It took years for me to read through the Bible and to understand that God was my personal friend, to understand his word and to know what it was he wanted from me. Well, time went by and I heard about great evangelisms where people got healed. There were crowds and crowds of people getting healed, but it always happened somewhere else. It wasn't fair. It didn't seem fair at all to me that someone could get healed in America, but not here in Hungary. It didn't help me at all. Why could it? Why could it happen with someone else, but not with me? I couldn't accept it. I knew that God was eternal, just like his word. The Bible is God's words, so it can happen today. About that time, I started to just beg for this miracle. I begged that I would become healthy. I prayed and prayed and prayed, but nothing happened. I asked others to pray for me, but nothing happened. I asked churches, still nothing. I thought I was doing something wrong, so I did it differently. I decided to pray through the night, and I thought if I pray through the night, then surely I'll be healthy by morning. Well, I jumped up in the morning with great joy, knowing in my heart I could walk, and I threw my legs from the bed, and I fell on the ground. I made a huge crash, and I knew that I couldn't get up. I went before God with a broken heart. I cried, I begged. I spent the following night in the presence of God, just praying and crying and begging. The prayer was more like a conversation with God. I told him I would accept anything from him, and I asked him to teach me, to explain things so I could understand. And then he talked to me with a loud voice. I could hear him, the one whose existence people doubt. I heard him. He talked to me. I listened again, and I drank in his words. And then he explained that he gave me this sickness to persuade me to cry out to him. He didn't want me to die, but to live, and to really live. And then I told him that it was okay. I accepted it. But I asked him to take me out of the wheelchair. Or if he wanted to see me in the wheelchair, then to please do a big miracle. The sickness caused so much pain. It was so bad I thought I would go crazy. I told God that his ways couldn't be that painful. His word said that his way and his yoke were light. I longed to put on this easy yoke. I didn't want to have to say, "My God, I love you," through pain and clenched teeth. Rather, I wanted to shout about it with freedom and joy and a full heart. And then God healed me. He gave me a miracle, not a spectacular one that I jumped out from the wheelchair, but this miracle was bigger than that. He took away the pain. I haven't taken any painkillers since that time. God also told me that he could get me out from the wheelchair. It wouldn't take him but 2 minutes. It's nothing to him. But he showed me that I was expecting him to do it. And we shouldn't have any expectations of God. I'm a useful tool in his hands the way I am. If I want to serve him, then I have to do it from this wheelchair. He can use me, and he can see me in the place where he wants to see me, just now as I sit in this chair. Since that time, I can not only endure the chair, but I can give thanks to God for it. Not because I don't want to run. I would love to. I often say that when I get to heaven, the first thing I'll do is turn cartwheels. I wouldn't trade that I'm a child of God for anything. But I know that to be without God is the biggest misery, not the wheelchair. I know that now, and all I can do is to thank my God.